Welcome to the episode 12. First day on the water is over, and emotions are cooled down a bit. It is time to look back and review what exactly happened and how the boat or captain was behaving. Maximum speed the boat was able to reach is somewhere around 9 knots. The comfortable cruising speed is around 6 knots. I tried to get my boat on plane as well, but was declined at the airport, stating that it is too large and heavy. The combined throttle gearbox control is a bit stiff to operate. Maybe I just don't have enough strength and need to do some workout before driving the boat. To say that the steering system is very sensitive would be the same as saying nothing. I almost overturned the boat on the first water test while trying to avoid the wake. The response was immediate roll to the starboard and immediate extreme angle turning at the same direction. It takes around 2 centimeters of a steering wheel turn, and the boat easily turns 360 degrees as you are seeing it now. The free play of the steering wheel does not help on course correction as well, as the boat has a tendency to do some small rolls to one side or another, while I try to keep it in a straight line. The docking. My second favorite maneuver besides leaving the dock. For whatever reason, everything there works against me. Like that boat which comes out of nowhere to my starboard side, forcing me to take a turn earlier than I need, to complete docking without reversing. You can also see how easy it is to turn the boat at very small speed, as only a minimum throttle is applied. Then there is the strange laws of physics, as the docking space becomes smaller and the boat just keeps growing bigger as you are approaching it.
Yes, bet domāju. Nesaki ok, ka man nav viss beidzot.
And after using forward plus reverse to pull the aft of the boat to the mooring, I didn't notice that the boat is parked, still screaming commands to my family crew.
Vietur šo vietu nepajam šādi.
But a nice experience the boating life is. And, as you can imagine, lot of attention went to the radiator cooling of the boat. To my surprise, it didn't work as bad as you would expect, and with a single cooling fan with the outside temperature 30 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the engine coolant was around 90 degrees. However, for going faster, both cooling fans were needed, but then the temperature comfortably dropped and remained around 85 degrees Celsius. There are a couple of drawbacks here. First, the ventilation openings on the side of the boat are smaller than the diameter of the cooling fans, and it means part of the hot air was blown against my feet, which would be perfectly fine in a colder weather, but not on a hot sunny summer day. However, opening the roof at least partially mitigated this inconvenience, and second, the engine room is semi-open, so it means there is more noise from the engine in the cockpit than you would perhaps prefer. The stability of the boat is incredible, and pretty much any waves can simply be ignored now. As much as I would hate to admit, but the boat is having some leaks. And when we return from the first trip, we have around 10 liters of water in our boat. And now the main question is, where is this coming from? So we will take some time to investigate it now. And there are 2 through holes in the galley, but in order to access them, I have to remove the fridge. And in order to remove the fridge, I need to know if it's good enough for something, or I can just remove it and throw it away. So in that means we need to test the fridge now. So for checking the fridge, I have prepared a couple of precision instruments. So first, it's a simple electronic thermometer. So this external sensor I will put inside the fridge, but we need also something else. And this is another precision instrument. Wait, is it working at all? Okay, it's better. So, okay, let's try to set some random time. Okay, we don't need alarms. Okay, let's assume it will be 12 o'clock right now. Okay, so let's start our measurements. With precision instruments in place, we can start the generator and see if the fridge is working at all. And in case of fire, I also have a fire extinguisher here, just in case, if something gets wrong. And this time, we can finally use the generator to power the fridge at least, and check how it's working at all, because as you can see here, there is an exhaust mounted through the hole on the side. If you were watching previous video carefully, you could see that it's already been done before launching the boat, but I was so focused on launching the boat, so I didn't even try to see how the generator is working at all, because launching the boat was way more important for me. So yes, we can try to see how it's working now. Okay, it should be switched on. Let's switch to start. Okay, this is the compensator lever. When starting, you can push it down so that it helps to reduce the resistance of the engine. So let's see. Okay. So we have a little problem. It looks like this battery is dead, but we are lucky since this generator has also a pull starter, and it should be accessible from this side. So let's remove those mounts. Okay, I hope I can grab it somewhere. Okay, here it is. Okay, so all we have to do is just pull start this thing. Should be easy, I suppose. Damn, it's not moving. How is this thing supposed to work? Let's try this off the compensator lever. Okay, I take my words back. It's not that easy. So, now I have to imagine that my boat is sinking, my engine has died, and the only way how I can run the pumps is to start the generator. Maybe that will help somehow. Let's see. Okay. So, let's go. 1, 2. Okay. So, perhaps it is a bit too early to throw the fridge away, because in somewhere around 2 hours the temperature in the freezer was around minus 15 degrees, which is perfectly okay. So the only thing left is just putting it back in, and I really hope putting it back in will be easier than taking it out, and after that I will be able to access the bilge eventually. And the reason why I want to check the bilge is 2 reasons. First of all, this part of the bilge was never checked after launch, because there was fridge and all the other stuff on the floor. And secondly, we suffered several impacts to the port side, and one of which is clearly visible that there was damage on the video as you are seeing now on the screen. So I really would like to see if there are some leaks from that side, even minor leaks, which need to be addressed. I picked up the fridge, hoping that putting it back in would be a piece of cake. However, the process turned to be a piece of something less edible. I'm not sure if this is easier than it was previously, because I see there are legs which need to go inside, and I need to raise it a bit higher. Okay, let's go. I think it was something like this, right? But next time I will definitely be thinking twice before removing it. Okay, so let's check the bilge in the gully, I suppose. For whatever reason, this plank doesn't want to move. Okay. We have fittings there. Okay. Good. Okay, so this is the area in the gully, and yes, that part is still not painted yet, not cleaned yet. I'm planning to do it sometime later. There is still work to do. Okay, but let's see here. No trace of leaks, but let's check out, because we are having 2 through holes in the area. So also you can see there are some fittings in the metal. The black part that you are seeing is a rust converter. And you can see there is still some stuff uncleaned yet. But that is again I will be doing later when the boat will be on dry land. So let's see here. No issues. No issues, and the through holes are behind those planks. Okay, no leaks here. And there had to be one more. It's back there. And it's also not leaking. But what I don't like is that both of these through holes are plastic. And I really don't think it's a good idea. So even I'm thinking I will not be replacing them, I will be removing them, because I don't like having through holes, first of all, of plastic, and second, in areas which are hard to reach, such as in the galley.
the boat will only benefit from removing them. Yeah, so this is new water pump from Mina, or Fiamma, and yes, it's just simple water pump, the same time as you would be using on a motorhome. So there is not the boats and motorhomes are not much different in that regard. And let's check this area between the tanks and I'm not sure, but I don't really like what I'm seeing here, because if you look closely, it seems we might have some leaks from the top of the tank, and either this pipe is leaking a bit, or the front water tank has a leak. Not significant one, but still you can see there is a moisture. And from what I'm seeing is that this moisture is not coming from the side or not coming from the bottom of the bilge, but it's coming from water tank side, as you can see from the marks here. So it means I will need to pull those water tanks out once again. Okay, so the good news in this all is that the leak appears to be intense only when the boat is moving. And now, when it's not moving, I'm not seeing any increasing levels of the water in the bilge. And that basically leaves a couple of things to check. First, it's the propeller shaft as one of the most definite suspects. However, I have already checked it and it does not have any issues. Yes, there are a couple of drips here and there, but for all those drips, all I have to do is just remember to use this screw a little bit until I feel some resistance every time after finishing driving the boat, so that it seals that stuffing box, and basically the leaks are stopping there. Another thing which can also be suspected is the water pump, because there are pipes going from and to it, so maybe there could be some issues, but when I tried checking it, it didn't reveal any significant issues. Definitely not like getting 10 liters of water in the bilge for an 2 hours cruise. So I'm currently a little bit puzzled what is going on. Perhaps I need a little bit more boat rides, and finally I will be able to trace exactly where the leak is. Of course, I cannot exclude the situation of severe vibrations from the propeller shaft, which are under load. The water could be getting inside more than usual here, but the problem is that I'm currently the only one who can drive the boat due to very sensitive steering. My wife already tried to drive it, it didn't went very well, she is not able to control it, and as soon as the boat starts to do its left or right turns, then she is in kind of panic mode, and I'm not able to drive at the same time and check what is going on, but somehow it will need to be managed one day.
Meanwhile, spending time on the boatyard means making new friends eventually, and very soon I will be going on a trip on a boat which has been abandoned for 30 years, only now back on water, but that will be something for the future episode. So please like and subscribe and join me on this next adventure.